Reports are stating that 3 clubs are interested in taking Mikey Moore on loan for the 2025-2026 campaign. Reports in Turkey are stating that Galatasaray and Fenerbahce are interested in Spurs forward Richarlison. Ajayi has just joined Doncaster Rovers on loan for next season. Reports are stating there is interest in Brentford captain Cristian Nørgaard, and Sky Germany have just stated that Eze is one of several players that Spurs are considering in his position, but no bids as yet. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with a report from Football League World. They are stating that Hull City have now joined West Bromwich Albion and Birmingham City in the transfer hunt for Tottenham Hotspur star Mikey Moore. The 3 clubs want to sign the 17-year-old Tottenham star on loan for the 2025-2026 campaign. Now, reports in Turkey, including one from Posta, they have stated that Tottenham are said to have given a green light to allow Richarlison to leave the club this summer. 2 clubs in Turkey have shown that they would be willing to take Richarlison away from the Premier League should the opportunity now arise. Galatasaray and Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce are interested in the Brazil forward. Spurs are open to a loan deal and a permanent transfer. Now, on Tuesday, it was confirmed by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club that Damola Ajayi has joined League One side Doncaster Rovers on loan for the 2025-2026 season. In the club statement, it said the 19-year-old forward was a regular for our under-21s last season and also featured in several first-team matchday squads. He marked his senior debut with a goal in our 3-0 Europa League win against Elfsborg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in January, a match in which all 3 goals were scored by academy graduates, with Mikey Moore and Dane Scarlett also on the score sheet. A key figure in our under-17 and under-18 Premier League Cup double winning campaign in 2022-2023, Damola Ajayi has also played a key role in our under-21s Premier League 2 title triumph in 2023-2024. Capable of playing off the right or through the middle, the versatile forward signed a new contract earlier this year, committing his future to the club until 2028. He now heads to the Eco Power Stadium to continue his development. The Standard have just reported that Brentford captain Cristian Nørgaard is wanted by both Arsenal and Tottenham as they both look for midfield reinforcements this summer. Nørgaard, who signed a new 2-year deal in March, is the latest player to be linked with a move away from the Bees after the departure of long-serving head coach Thomas Frank to Tottenham. Now for some Spurs women news, and Molly Bartrip has signed a new contract with the club that will run until 2028. The experienced defender has been a model of consistency across her 4 seasons since she rejoined the club from Reading back in July 2021, having played for our under-10s in mid-2000s. As ever present in our starting 11 last term, our vice-captain played every single minute for us in the Barclays Women's Super League, completing 1,980 minutes, the second time she has recorded that impressive feat in our colours. The 29-year-old is also the only Spurs player to have played every fixture in a single WSL game since our promotion to the top flight in 2019. Reaching a century of games in Lillywhite in March 2025, Molly is currently up to 106 appearances for us in all competitions, making her one of 4 players in the current squad to have surpassed this total. Now, The Guardian have just reported that Tottenham are weighing up a move for Eze and believe that the Crystal Palace forward would be open to joining them this summer. Spurs have a long-standing interest in the England international, not to mention close connections with the agency that represents him, and they have discussed whether to make him a statement signing for the new manager, Thomas Frank. The Guardian have also reported that Eze is represented by the influential CAA-based agency, which has a number of players at Spurs, including captain Heung-min Son, James Maddison and Papa Matar Sarr. And the very latest on the Eze links to Tottenham Hotspur this summer, Sky Germany have just reported that Spurs are closely monitoring Eze and have already gathered all of the relevant information. However, he is just one of several players that they are considering for his position. At this stage, they have not activated his release clause, and they are also not close in doing so. Still, Eze remains one to watch for Spurs. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about Mikey Moore possibly going out on loan. These reports are stating that 3 clubs are interested at the moment, Football League clubs. I've absolutely no doubt there are a ton of clubs interested in a player like Mikey Moore. Still only 17. He is going to be a huge star for the future. Of course, Ange Postecoglou said so often about him managing his minutes, and he didn't want to overload him by overworking him, by giving him too many minutes at such a young age. I feel for his own development, it would probably be better off for him and for Spurs, because if we want to go big in this transfer window, Mikey Moore may not get that many minutes under Thomas Frank, but for his own development to be playing consistently, he may do much better in going to a club like West Bromwich Albion, playing under Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason, of course, knows Mikey Moore extremely well, having worked with him for a number of years at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And Ryan Mason is starting out his managerial career at the Hawthorns at West Bromwich Albion. So I feel like that would be a perfect move for him. And Mason, I feel like, would really balance out his minutes and know exactly what Tottenham and the player would need from the loan move. And of course they would be getting a fantastic player playing for them as well. Now, there's interest apparently in Richarlison. We see a lot of reports about Richarlison interest in him. And many congratulations to Richarlison. He's just become a dad, so his outlook may be a little bit different this coming summer if a offer does come in for him. I feel like Richarlison could still play in the Premier League. And I feel, and I've always felt this, that if Richarlison leaves Spurs, he's probably perfect move for him would be back to Everton, because the Everton fans absolutely adore him. Of course, they're moving into their new stadium as well. But I do feel like Richarlison's time is up at Spurs, actually. I would hope that Spurs do go big in the transfer market this summer, particularly in that final third as well. And I do believe that we do need another backup striker to come in and deputise, sometimes for Dominic Solanke, who is worked so hard, in my opinion. But sometimes I feel like some players' time is up at Spurs, and I feel like Richarlison, I feel like he could go out on a high, having lifted the Europa League trophy and played extremely well, probably his best game in a Spurs shirt in that final, actually, in Bilbao. But that's going to be an interesting one. And we hear and see all of these reports about Spurs have got to sell players in order to buy players this summer. And if that is the case, Richarlison, Basuma, you would probably look at players like this to probably go out the door. Whether it's to Turkey, let's wait and see. Ajayi has just secured a loan deal to Doncaster Rovers for the season. Of course, he kicked off his senior Spurs career extremely well in the Europa League against Elfsborg, getting on the score sheet. So wishing him all of the very best. Players like that of this age, they need that development, they need that game time, and they need that experience of going out and playing football, which I feel like he is going to do really, really well at Doncaster. There's interest in Brentford captain Cristian Nørgaard. I've said this before, I feel like Spurs are going to be heavily linked to every single Brentford player, but Nørgaard is a player that works extremely hard, and we all know in a Thomas Frank system, you need to be working hard consistently. And this is someone that he has hugely complimented on a number of occasions, captain for Brentford as well. And I've no doubt that Thomas Frank will probably want to bring one or two players from Brentford into this Tottenham Hotspur team to make it easier for him in some ways, because he knows exactly what he's going to get week in, week out. And as I said before as well, I feel like there are a lot of Brentford players that are very, very underrated, unsung heroes, and Nørgaard is definitely one of them. Sky Germany and various other reports, I could have read so many out about Eze. Sky Germany have stated that Eze is one of several players that Spurs are considering in his position. I've absolutely no doubt that Spurs are probably looking at hundreds and hundreds of players right now, but I feel like if you listen to this channel on a regular basis, either on YouTube or audio platforms, you will know that I'm a big fan of Eze, have been since 2019. During his QPR days, Spurs had a chance of buying him at a fairly low price at that point. We didn't. And we have been interested in Eze in most transfer windows since, 6 years later. This is a top player, in my opinion, and Spurs should go all out to go and buy him. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great week. Stay safe and well. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.